Welcome back to Von Blues Boxing. Today is Wednesday, guys. I just wanted to talk about a few things about Gary Russell and the Devin Haney situation, and I also wanted to talk about Canelo and the DAZN thing. Just a quick video, and I got some more content coming to you today. And tomorrow, I'm going to be breaking down. I've done some film study on Jamel Charlo and Jason Rosario, some of the strengths. I looked at their strengths, and I looked at some of the things that they do, things that they need to work on to help them, you know what I'm saying, in their fight against each other. And yeah, so I'm just gonna break that down. Some of the things I've seen, some of the stuff they can work on, some of the things that they do really well, and then I will give my prediction probably sometime this week with how I think the fight is gonna go and who I think is gonna win. So yeah, so the Haney and Gary Russell situation. Now the way I feel about it is that Devin Haney and Gary Russell both don't kind of need this fight. They both don't need to fight each other really, but at the same time, I understand it because it will catch some interest. Not for everybody, but it will catch interest. I think a better opponent for Devin Haney and someone that where he would get more credit at, because some people are not going to give him credit. What they're going to use against Devin Haney, oh, he was the bigger man, he was the bigger man, Gary Russell was coming up 2 weight classes. But somebody who I think that would be a good opponent and get a couple of opponents that would give Devin Haney, in the 135 division that give him like that credit, like, okay, he's fighting top 10 guys in the division, is Javier Fortuna, because Fortuna did call him out, and I think Fortuna's ranked high in the WBC rankings. And also him and Jorge Linares' fight got canceled because Jorge Linares, COVID, and he's in Japan. And yeah, so I think that him, or I would think if he can't fight him, somebody like Rancis Bartholomew, I think he's a good fighter. Rancis would be a good fighter for him at 135. Or possibly Robert Easter. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are both ranked in the top 10 in 135 division. I think those are good fights. I think those are fights that are, you could give Devin Haney full credit to, even though I give him credit for his fights, but, people would give him full credit for. So I think that is the thing. Gary Russell, I think Gary Russell will be more suited to maybe rematch JoJo Diaz or possibly go up to 130 and fight Miguel Burchett. I think that's a good fight. I think that's a fight that he should chase. Somebody like Miguel Burchett. You know what I'm saying? Because Burchett is he is ranked, I think, number 1 at 130 at the 130 division, and I think that's just a better opponent. It's more, I just think it's a more it's just a better fight. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a more opponent where it's more reasonable, and it's a more fight that I think is more reasonable to happen. Him and Devin Haney, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the first time that fighters come up weight. Reagan Dow did it against Lomachenko. Roberto Duran did it against Tommy the Hitman Hearns and Marvin Hagler. You had guys back in the day, Henry Armstrong coming up weight. And I'm not, you know, comparing them to Gary Russell, but I'm just saying this has been going on for a while. Mikey Garcia did it, you know what I'm saying? So fighters are always going to take those type of challenges. So if the fight did happen, I would watch it. I'm a boxing fan. I love the sport of boxing, so I'm going to watch it. But I'm just giving my opinion on it. I think that both of them would be more suited fighting guys more around, their weight class. Like Devin Haney would be more suited fighting the guys I'm talking about. Gary Russell would be more suited fighting somebody that like Miguel Burchett, but if they make the fight happen, I'm gonna watch it because I like boxing. So that's just with that. Now the Canelo and DAZN thing, the lawsuit and everything with that. The thing is with that is Canelo, if he does go through with this lawsuit and they go through it and you go to court and stuff like that, he's gonna be so long in litigation and have to spend so much money on lawyers and fees and stuff like that to where the point it'll keep Canelo out of the ring for some years. So unless there's a real breach in the contract. Now, there's a breach in the contract, there could be a way that he can void that contract, you know what I'm saying? And he could walk away from that contract, but it's to be seen, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be, if he's going to really go through with this, it's going to be really, really, really difficult. We've seen what happened with Mikey Garcia. We've seen what happened to Demetrius Andrade, you know what I'm saying? We've seen it with fighters when they go through these contracts. We've seen Floyd Mayweather had to pay out of his contract when he was trying to leave Al Heyman and, not Al Heyman, Bob Arum and Top Rank. So it's never easy trying to break those contracts from the fighters, and it can stagnate your career. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens with Canelo in that situation, man. And, it's not easy. But the thing is, people should have seen some of this coming because, him and Oscar De La Hoya relationship has been bad for a while. You know what I'm saying? Oscar and Canelo's relationship has been strained for a long time. And, yeah, so we're going to see what happens with this. I think that Canelo, I don't know. I just don't know how he gonna get out of that contract or how like that's gonna go. So it's to be seen. We'll keep our eyes on that. And yeah, later on today, I will be bringing some of my part of my film study on Jermell Charlo and Jason Rosario, their past 3 fights. I'm going to talk about their past 3 fights, what they did in their past 3 fights, from my opinion and from my eyes and from what I've seen. Now, I'm not saying I'm necessarily correct, 100% correct on what they're doing. I'm just giving you opinion and from what I've seen, what they did in that fight. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Yeah, I hope you guys like this one. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I've been watching their fights that they pat, and I'm only doing it off their past 3 opponents. I'm only going past their past 3 opponents that Jermell fought and Jason fought, and I'm just gonna talk about what they do well, what they need to work on, what they did in those fights to be successful, and show you and I think it's gonna be interesting. I think you guys will enjoy that. So yeah, stay tuned for that today or tomorrow. And yeah, so you guys be good, be safe out here. And yeah, man, that's it, man. I'm gonna get at you guys later. Von Blues Boxing. I'm out.